has a lot of that old charm
And
that
that's what I
people
like.
wouldn't know if you didn't
Yeah.
tell them. The roller coaster that is real estate, having those hard conversations with people, and then, accessibility with the stairs. So that was the struggle with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. And as the theme music fades away, welcome back to The Closing Table. I am your host, Kevin C. McIntosh. And joining us on this episode, pulling up a chair to the closing table, ready to share her knowledge with us, we want to welcome Meghan Zoll. How are you, Meghan?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for being here and pulling up a chair and being a friend. We appreciate that. So, we talking about more specifically real estate and your market. We want to dive into that, get your professional perspective. But before we even go there, I like to separate the person from the professional. So, in 60 seconds or less, Meghan, can you tell us who you are outside of real estate, please?
I am a mom of two girls. I am a mom to two dogs.
Okay.
I love to travel and run, and I love Livingston County.
Nice. Short and sweet. Got to respect that, being
Yeah,
a woman of the family, fur
yeah,
babies included. So, yeah, we
yeah.
like to hear that. I know you're very, very busy with that being said. Okay, so let's talk about your business, your professional career and whatnot. Can you kind of describe your real estate business, your model in a way? Hit a few key points if you can. Just describe how long you've been licensed, if you have a niche or specialty, or if you have any notable achievements. Just give us any detail.
Absolutely. I am just finishing my fifth year in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I am a solo agent, which is not quite as common as being on a team like a lot of agents are right now. So um, I'm a one-woman show, and I have some support staff that I use sometimes, which makes things easier. But otherwise, it's just me. I'm on the leadership committee here at our Keller Williams office, and I'm in the top 20% of our office. I'm active with our local association, and yeah, I got my broker's license last year, which was awesome.
Okay,
That was a
congratulations.
big accomplishment for me. Um, so yeah, that's about sums it
Nice.
up.
Neat. Okay, good. All about business, getting things done, moving forward, and also adding more license to your name also. So that's good to hear. Let's talk about where you're doing your business then. If you can describe your market in two different ways. One, geographically, just talk about the surrounding areas, cities, states, and notable attractions and things to do. Then get into some of the statistical data when it comes to real estate in your market.
Yeah, so I work primarily in Livingston County, but also Metro Detroit. About an hour from Brighton is where I'm willing to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love Livingston County because you can be in the country, but also have um, a little bit of that city feel, the convenience. Um, and in our market, the average price point is about $385,000,
Oh
and
man.
um, yeah, it's really great. But Michigan is great. There's a lot of great cities around here, so
Mm-hmm.
um,
Okay.
you're going
Okay.
to cut this part out.
No. No, you're perfectly fine. See, so what I want to say in response to that is, I mean, depending on your budget, obviously, it pretty much just depends. You said 388 was around the
Yeah, about
average.
385.
Yeah, so we're pushing, average reaching probably like a 500,000, a little bit more, some a little bit underneath. But then you think about other markets. I think we just had someone on recently in the Toledo market. They were talking about, I think their average was less than 200,000. So
Yeah, it's definitely hard for a first time
oh yeah.
home buyers in Livingston County,
Mm-hmm.
families
Mm-hmm.
that are just starting out. When I bought my first house with my husband, we were 25. We were able to get a rural development loan with $0 down,
Mm.
and bought our house for $160,000. It was a nice ranch. you're not going to get anything like that. That same
Nice.
ranch now is like $300,000. So
Whew. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But that I'm glad you brought that up too, because that, like you just said, that lets us know in your market. You said first time home buyers are struggling the most when it comes to people looking for homes. Correct? You see more of
most
the
definitely.
experienced second, third time home buyers, maybe investment buyers, people who are coming in with all cash buys and things of that nature. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and the reason I know that is because we're hearing that in multiple markets across the country at this point. So it's just interesting.
Hmm.
Thank you for shedding light on that and sharing that with us. In the social media post, you emphasize the benefits of utilizing a local lender rather than like a nationally recognized lender. When I saw that, I know why, but I thought it was interesting. So what are some of the major benefits of a local lender? And can you describe a time when you convince a client to use a local lender over one of those big box brand name lenders?
Absolutely. I was helping a client shop for homes in Ann Arbor. At the beginning of this year, the market was bananas. All the houses were getting multiple offers really quick. Um, and she wanted to use Chase Bank because that is who she's done all of her banking with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I talked about the importance of using a local lender, which is their reputation matters more. They're more familiar with the neighborhoods. They've built relationships with other agents. Um, and she did end up using the local lender, which was great. We put in an
Nice.
offer on a home, and that listing agent had worked with this lender that she was using before, trusted him, knew that he did a good job, and then he really does do the work to make sure that she's a qualified buyer. And we got her offer accepted
Mm.
with Chase or some of the other big box ones. You're working with numerous people. They're not working on the weekends. They're not working after hours, um, and you're
That's a
just
good
kind of
point.
one of many. So
Yeah. No, you're just a customer, another number that's just running through. In most cases, they already have a well-oiled machine that they're just sliding you through the conveyor belt and just throwing all these automatic whatever the case, underwriters or whatever the case on it. And that's what
right,
happens when you're dealing with these, in most cases, big companies, big businesses. They have to scale their business so much that they have like a conveyor belt of how they work their systems, their goods and services. But essentially, when you're working with these local lenders, like you highlighted, they are people who more than likely live in that community. They know that community. They know the agents, and they know what's going on, and you can build that one-on-one relationship with them either. So they're more willing to work with you, from my personal
right.
experience also.
And
So
they know you can't take the weekend off.
that's interesting. But yeah, those are all very key points. So I'm so glad that you brought that up
Yeah.
and touched on that. In your career, with you going to different properties, homes and whatnot, have you ever been to a property that had a fascinating, unusual type of history or background? And how did you leverage this intriguing aspect to generate interest from potential buyers?
Yeah, so I have a listing that went live yesterday. It's in Iosco Township, Fowlerville Schools. It was originally built in 1836.
Ooh.
My sellers have a newspaper article from like the 70s talking about how it was the first frame built home in Livingston County. They have all these old pictures of the families that lived in the house from all these old newspapers, which are super cool.
Mm.
But they've taken the time to remodel it themselves, and but still keep some of the farmhouse charm and character. Like they have a sink that is modeled, is it like an exact replica of a sink at Greenfield Village,
Oh.
um,
Mm. Mm.
and they've salvaged these old doors that have histories from other places. And so there's just a lot of cool features about this house that if you just go in as a buyer with your agent, you're not going to know. Um, so, we take the time to write down all those things that they're really important, that are important to my sellers, things that they really love, cool features about that house, and kind
Mm.
of show them, like putting out the newspaper articles, um, making little notes as so when people are walking through, and then also having that conversation with the buyer's agents, but just highlighting those unique features um, to help people connect more and,
Okay.
get more traction through the house. So yeah.
The older home situation, to me, that's That's a very my father he sold this house he used to own. It had the old radiators in there for the heat, and
Yeah.
I hated those radiators so much. Like I hated it because, I was young. I was growing up in the house. So I used to, obviously go and touch it when it was super hot for
Hmm.
some reason. And
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. It just wasn't convenient. So there's something to these older homes that I'm not a fan of. But until you link with someone who knows the history behind the homes, know the things that happen in the home, and can still point out some of those things that are in the home that are extremely valuable or that are
Hmm.
extremely just very unique and have a lot of good good stuff left behind it. And my main point
Yeah,
that
like
I'm making
sentiment.
is right. And my main point that I'm making is some people make the argument that homes built nowadays aren't as sturdy or as strong as they used to be. So this is
Hmm.
one of those situations where you can have a home. I mean, you say it was built in the
36.
1800s. You see what I mean? And it's still in
Yeah.
2023. It's still standing, right?
Yeah,
So that
they've
just
done a
shows.
lot of work. So there's no radiators you can burn yourself on. They have a lot of
Okay.
modern conveniences, but it still has a lot of that old charm
And
that
that's what I
people
like.
wouldn't know if you didn't
Yeah.
tell them.
Yeah. See, that's what I like. Now that's a home. So if you can keep that old school like foundation and the things around it, but you can upgrade it to some of the like modern things like vents and things
Hmm.
like that. Now that's a home right there. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. That's interesting to hear right there. I saw that you had a client who was looking for a multi-generational home with the first
Yeah.
floor living, and you were showing them like over 40 different homes until you
Yeah.
found one. Interesting story, by the way. I want you to break down a few different things with this. One, how often are clients looking for a multi-generational home? And can you talk about the struggles that you went through to find this home?
Yeah, so it's becoming more common. I've helped a handful of people looking for multi-generational homes this year. I think with the cost of living, the cost of housing, the cost of caring, if your parent needs to go into a home, you're taking care of them. Everything's so expensive right now that if you can
Mm-hmm.
live in a home together, it really helps, whether it's with childcare, with cost of living, with caring for your elderly parents. Um, it just helps and it helps save money.
Right.
So I think that's why it's becoming more common. I personally would love a multi-generational house as long as we had our own separate areas,
For sure,
with
for sure.
kids.
For
It
sure.
takes a village. It takes a village. So I would love it. I know it's not for everybody, but it's
Right.
challenging. First floor primary bedrooms are not that common.
Mm.
Ranch homes are super popular, but a lot of homes aren't ranches when in on the market. This one we were looking at, with a 40 or more, that was in Ann Arbor also. Um, Ranch homes weren't as common, and when they did come on the market, they were really desirable.
Right.
Looking at two-story homes, most of them don't have that primary bedroom and bathroom, and then accessibility with the stairs. So um, that was the struggle with that.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. See, I'm just learning about the multi-generational home thing just this year, actually. And it's essentially just a situation where you and maybe your adult kids or maybe like your mother, father, your parents or something like that all pretty much live under one roof and kind of split the bills essentially, right?
Hmm.
Split the
Yep.
mortgage to kind of make it easier on each other. And like you said, with the rising property prices and interest rates and things like that, it makes it hard for just a single buyer to purchase a home nowadays. So you will have to, I mean, not have to, but in more cases, some people are doing it with a wife, a husband, a partner, a mother, a father, and things like that, and just going in. And I'm the same way too. Like I wouldn't mind doing it. In theory, it sounds good because I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. Most of us, if you're able to, you would like to purchase a home or homes for your family and possibly even have all your family live close to each other. If you had like a big mansion, I would love to have my family. But you stay on the West End, you stay on the East
Yeah.
End, you stay on the North
Exactly.
End and the South End. We can stay together, just have your own space. But I completely get that. But it's interesting to see that that's becoming more popular, as you say, correct?
Right. And it has to be like accessible space, that's the
Right, right.
key thing. Lots of people have basements, but the stairs are an issue, or
Mm-hmm.
um, so finding something that's accessible and that could work for people long term. And even I feel like my clients who are younger, who are looking at houses, are still looking for something with a primary bedroom on the first floor, for when their parents come, or just the thought of their parents maybe eventually needing to come and live with them as well.
Yeah, yeah. An unusual situation, but starting to become more popular. I would say that. Have you ever had to deal with a demanding or difficult client? Now, here's the thing. I know some people say that they're purchasing a home. All of them are demanding in a way, but
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more to the extreme. You ever had that type of situation, and how did you handle it?
Of course, I think that anybody in real estate has had a client like that at least once. And real estate is emotional. Buying and selling a home can be a very emotional thing. People can get caught up in it, especially when the market is crazy and you're having to make fast decisions. Um, there can be a lot of emotions that come up. And I just try really hard to remind people why we're doing, what their goals were, um, and trying to keep that end that end
Hmm.
goal in sight. Um, you have to do your best. I've never had to fire somebody before.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's good because I
yeah.
have heard stories of people having to fire their clients. But that's good that you haven't experienced that. We don't necessarily want that, but it's still also like you said, clients are going to be demanding. They're purchasing
Hmm.
homes, properties for hundreds of thousands of dollars nowadays. So I'm going to be very
Right.
anal about a lot of the things involved also. But at the same time, you remain professional, calm, and at the end of the day, they hired you or you hired each other, I should say, to
Yeah.
let the person do what they do best, essentially. So you would hope that the clients would have that in mind, but I know that's not always the case. So
No, I mean, in anything that you do in life, you're going to
yeah.
come up against some people who
Oh,
maybe are
for sure.
unreasonable,
Oh,
and you
for
just
real.
have to do your best.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
your best. It's
100%,
a
a hundred
challenge.
percent.
It's a challenge and another learning opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you look at it like that because it could be a downer for a lot of people.
yeah.
Um, I see you are an advocate for running for running and fitness, like you said before. So can you
Mhm.
explain how your passion for running helps you build a connection to your community, if it does at all?
Yeah, I'm really involved in a local running club. I meet a ton of new people from all over Livingston County, Oakland County, even beyond. And I spend a lot of time with them. We're training for a marathon. I might run with them 4 hours in one day. So I have a lot of time
Sheesh.
to get to know them and learn new things about them, learn new things about our community. I have the opportunity to participate in um, other like charity events that I wouldn't have known about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know, it gives me the opportunity to meet so many new people and to learn so many things and get different perspectives. And it's just been wonderful. I love it.
That's so you run outside, right? You like to run
Yeah.
outside, and I
Yeah.
am not an outside runner. I cannot do it. My girlfriend loves to run outside or on the track.
Hmm.
I'm a treadmill person. I'm a treadmill guy.
Ugh,
I
so
just can't do it.
boring.
Don't do that. No, listen. With a treadmill, listen. Throw on earphones, zone out, straight ahead on the treadmill. When you outside, I gotta stop at a red light. I gotta wait for traffic and stop my momentum. I don't like doing that. Plus, it's different terrain and different types of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
can't
are
do it.
We are so fortunate in Livingston County to have a ton of parks and
Oh, that's
places to
good.
be
Okay.
active. We have like Kensington Metro Park, Huron
Mm-hmm.
Meadows. We have all
Mm-hmm.
these places with paved paths so you can just zone out with your headphones and follow the
Nice.
path, or trails if you want, so it's just, we're really fortunate
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We always had
Treadmills
that
are,
debate. Yeah, yeah. Look at you. We always had that debate, me and my girlfriend. I'm team
yeah.
treadmill. So from a professional perspective, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of the real estate industry? And do you have a specific example, a situation that exemplifies this?
I think the most challenging thing for me is that every day is different. No two transactions are the same. Just when you think that you have it, down 100%, something else crazy comes up, and you just have to really learn how to adapt and be a problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't really have a specific example I can give you.
I feel you.
It's
Yeah.
just every day there's nothing the same.
Yeah, yeah, and you have to continue to be a learner, continue to study the market, continue to study the
Yeah.
industry and things. I mean,
And
you just have to stay on top of your game. I get it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's, how busy or not busy I am,
Yeah.
all is based on me and the work I'm willing to put into it. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, staying
See,
motivated sometimes can be a challenge.
and that's the thing between being a real estate professional, business owner, than like just working like at McDonald's or something like that, where the system is already pretty much created. You just
Hmm.
go fit in as a part. But when you're doing what you do, you actually have to get up and hustle on a daily basis, whether that's generating leads, whether that's doing market research, whether that's tending to your current transactions and making sure you get those deals closed. There's some work to do every day, every single
Yeah.
day, to keep your business going. So yeah, I get it. It always changes, as it should too. When you
Hmm.
reflect,
Keeps things interesting.
yeah, exactly. Instead of boring and mundane and the same
Hmm.
old every single day. When you think about your career again, you think about key lessons that you've learned throughout your career. Can you talk about what you've learned from yourself, the industry, and the importance of serving others?
Um, about myself, I learned I can do hard things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like all the roller coaster that is real estate, having those hard conversations with people. I, before real estate, worked for my family business for 16 years. And once I switched to real estate, it helped me learn that I can do it on my own. Like I can be successful on my own. That was a big, huge thing for me, doing those hard things. Um, Key about the importance of serving others. I love, like, giving back to my community. I love Livingston County, like I keep saying. Being in real estate helps me help other people get to experience the same joy. And yeah.
Good. I mean, and as you should though, right? After you spend so much time doing it and you're helping out the community that you're familiar with the most, you
Hmm.
feel that sense of pride in literally getting people into their homes. Some people who may have never even thought that they were qualified to get a home, and then you use your help, your resources, your knowledge to put them in that position to get a home. So, and it's
Most
always
definitely.
like we said, it's always a ever changing industry that you have to continue to learn from. So I get it. There's still more lessons to be learned. So well
Hmm.
said. Well said. Well, thank you again, Megan, for pulling up a chair and taking
Yeah.
time out of your very busy schedule to be a guest on the closing table. We appreciate that. At this point, if you have any last words and/or want to tell people how to reach out to you, please do so now.
You can reach out to me via email at Megan with an H at zollhomes.com, or 586-202-2130 is my cell phone number. Um, yeah,
Perfect. Thank you again, Megan. We appreciate you for
thank you.
being a guest on the closing table. And for our YouTube audience watching right now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, please do us both a favor and hit the like button, please, and thank you. Make sure you also share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform, please do the same. Give us a like, a 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. And Megan, we're going to leave our audience with a question before they leave the chat. So this is for you, audience. Did you shop for mortgages with more than one lender? And what do you like the most about your current mortgage program? Don't tell us now. Leave it in the comments below. Besides that,
And are you team treadmill or team running outside? That's the most important.
she threw that to me. Team treadmill. We'll talk to you next time.